Did you know? Okay, so airplane wings are way more flexible than you think. During heavy turbulence, the wingtips on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner can flex upward by an incredible 26 feet. It's designed to absorb all that stress. No joke, nearly every large galaxy out there, including our very own Milky Way, has a supermassive black hole chilling at its center. Sagittarius A is our galaxy's giant, weighing in at about 4 million times the mass of the Sun. And get this, only one person has ever won gold medals at both the Summer and Winter Olympics in different sports. That's Eddie Egan, who took boxing gold in 1920 and bobsleigh gold in 1932. Seriously impressive versatility. Turns out Blade the Vampire Hunter didn't get his own comic title until much later, first appearing in the Tomb of Dracula 10 in July 1973. He was initially a supporting character before becoming a cult favorite. Okay, so turns out the very first professional football club ever wasn't in England's Premier League. No joke, it was Sheffield FC, founded way back in 1857. Okay, so turns out the Sumerians in Mesopotamia weren't just about writing, they were also big into brewing beer. They considered it a divine drink, and we've got recipes for it from over 3,900 years ago inscribed on clay tablets. Okay, so turns out Vermont is super unique because it's the only US state that has banned billboards along its highways. Seriously, they passed the Vermont billboard law back in 1968, keeping those scenic views totally unspoiled, no joke. And get this, Maine is the only US state that borders just one other US state, New Hampshire. It also shares a massive border with Canada stretching over 611 miles. And get this, the entire city of Corunna is slowly being moved because of mining operations underground. They're literally relocating homes and even historic buildings a few kilometers away. So here's a weird one: Hello Kitty isn't actually a cat. The company straight up confirmed she's a little British girl named Kitty White, which honestly broke a lot of people's brains. Get this, Westgate Resort's founder David Siegel is building Versailles, a 90,000 square foot mega mansion in Florida, making it one of the largest single-family homes in the US. It even has 11 kitchens and 14 bedrooms. Okay, so Montgomery, Alabama was actually the very first city in the entire United States to install an electric streetcar system back in 1886. It totally revolutionized urban transportation and kicked off an era of modernization. Turns out there's a car cruising through space right now. Elon Musk launched his cherry red Tesla Roadster on a rocket back in 2018, and it's been floating around the sun ever since. Get this, id Software originally released the first episode of Doom as shareware back in 1993, letting players try it for free. This marketing move helped it spread like wildfire and become a massive hit. Get this, the shortest war in history lasted under 40 minutes. Britain and the island of Zanzibar went at it in 1896, and the whole thing was basically over in about 38 minutes. Get this, a pineapple takes about 2 to 3 years to grow just one fruit. The plant has to fully mature and flower first, which is why pineapples were once such a luxury that rich people literally rented them to show off at parties. Okay, so Hajime Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, actually got some inspiration for the Titan's terrifying appearance from a drunk customer he encountered while working at an internet cafe. Talk about a bizarre muse, right? Okay, so octopuses are basically aliens. They've got 3 separate hearts, 9 brains, and blue blood, and weirdly 2 of those hearts actually stop beating every time they swim. No joke, Chile is the 5th largest exporter of wine globally, with a booming industry dating back to the 16th century, when Spanish conquistadors introduced grapevines. Their Carmenere varietal is practically a national treasure. Turns out your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve metal. It's mostly hydrochloric acid sitting around a pH of 1 to 2, and the only reason it doesn't digest your own stomach is that the lining completely replaces itself every few days. No joke, sperm whales are incredible deep-sea divers capable of plunging to depths of over 2,000 meters in search of giant squid. They can hold their breath for up to 90 minutes on these epic hunting expeditions. Turns out the Gaokao China's National College entrance exam is incredibly tough, lasting up to 9 hours over 2 or 3 days. It's super stressful, and the results can shape a student's entire future. No joke, Lake Placid in New York is one of only 2 places in the world that has hosted the Winter Olympics twice. They welcomed the world in both 1932 and again in 1980. Okay, so there are literally mirrors on the moon left by Apollo missions that we still use today. Scientists shoot lasers at them to precisely measure the distance between Earth and the moon down to mere centimeters. No joke, Thailand is home to the world's largest solid gold Buddha statue, weighing an insane 5.5 tons. This incredible 10-foot-tall treasure is housed at Wat Tramet in Bangkok. Turns out Mount Everest isn't really the tallest mountain on Earth if you measure base to peak. Hawaii's Mauna Kea wins that one, since most of it is underwater, and base to summit it's over 10,000 meters, beating Everest by well over a kilometer. Okay, so Bluetooth is named after an actual Viking king. King Harald Bluetooth united Denmark, and the little logo is just his initials written in Old Norse runes mashed together. Okay, so turns out Freddie Mercury, who was a graphic design graduate, actually designed the iconic Queen crest himself, incorporating all 4 band members' zodiac signs into the emblem. Talk about multi-talented. Okay, so many iconic Swiss trains actually run on narrow gauge tracks, not just the standard size. The famous Rhaetian Railway, a UNESCO site, uses a meter gauge as it winds through the mountains. Okay, so get this, your cornea is actually the only part of your body that gets oxygen directly from the air, meaning it has no blood vessels. Turns out that's why it's a popular choice for transplants. Pretty wild, huh? Okay, so while many contributed, Vinton Cerf and Robert Kahn are often called the fathers of the internet for developing TCP/IP protocols. They published their groundbreaking paper, A Protocol for Packet Network Intercommunication, back in 1974. Okay, so Usain Bolt's top speed during his world record 100 meters hit nearly 28 miles per hour. He reached that burst around the 60 to 80 meter mark, which is faster than most cars are allowed to drive through a school zone. No joke, those popular rollerblades that let you cruise around were invented by 2 hockey-playing brothers, Scott and Brennan Olsen, in Minneapolis during the early 1980s. They were originally for off-season training. So the first thing ever sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer. The founder warned the buyer it was busted. The guy bought it anyway, and that random sale basically kicked off a billion-dollar company. So the green code raining down in the Matrix isn't actually code. The designer literally scanned symbols out of his wife's sushi cookbook, so technically Neo is just reading dinner recipes the whole time. Turns out bubble wrap was invented to be wallpaper. Back in 1957, 2 engineers were trying to make a trendy textured wall covering it. Totally flopped, and only later did someone realize it was perfect for protecting packages. Okay, so this is pretty cool. The future birthplace of Star Trek's Captain James T. Kirk is officially designated in Riverside, Iowa. They even have a monument marking his fictional birth year of 2233. No joke. Okay, so Nintendo is way older than you'd think. It was founded back in 1889, the 1800s, and it originally made handmade playing cards called Hanafuda for decades before it ever touched a video game. Get this, a single day on Venus is longer than its entire year. The planet spins so ridiculously slow that one full rotation takes 243 Earth days, but it laps the sun in only 225. Get this, the Eiffel Tower actually gets taller in summer. The iron expands in the heat, so the whole tower can grow by about 15 centimeters. When it's hot out, then shrinks right back down once it cools off. Turns out you actually can't see the Great Wall of China from space with the naked eye, despite that famous claim. Astronauts have confirmed it's basically impossible, since the wall is narrow and just blends into the landscape around it. Turns out Stan Lee's initial idea for Spider-Man was almost shot down by his publisher Martin Goodman, because Goodman thought people hated spiders. Goodman eventually gave in, leading to Spidey's debut in Amazing Fantasy 15 in 1962. Turns out Bob Ross was way faster than he looked. He painted over 1,000 paintings on his show, and he'd usually knock out a whole landscape in under 30 minutes while just calmly chatting. Yet this Vision was originally planned to be a human character when Roy Thomas first conceived him, but Stan Lee suggested making him an android. He made his iconic debut in Avengers 57 in October 1968. Okay, so if you fall into a stellar black hole, your body would actually stretch out like a noodle. Before you even reach the event horizon, it's called spaghettification. Turns out the gravity near smaller black holes is way more intense and uneven at close distances. If you enjoyed these, subscribe for daily facts and catch the shorts too.